Hey, what's up my people, Relinquished here, and today I'm bringing you an update of my Relinquished deck profile. Now, because we lost Predaplant, Verti, Anaconda, and we can't go into with just any two monsters and go into our Millenniumize Restrict, we have to find other ways to bring this powerful monster onto the field. Now, I've been experimenting with a couple things, including keeping Tour Guide and Sangan in the deck, but this was definitely a hit for the deck. I can't lie to you guys, there's not another alternative to make the deck just as good, or one that I haven't found yet, or one if you guys have found a way to make it just as effective, please let me know. But as of right now, I have to admit it did take a hit, but the deck's still swinging. It can still put up an amazing board going second, dismantle your opponent's board, and it'll get you a sneaky win against a meta deck every now and then. So let's go ahead and look into this new updated version of the Relinquished deck after losing Predaplant, Verti, Anaconda. Now before we do that, I just want to show you guys something real quick. I had the pleasure of meeting Darren Dustin. He is the voice actor for Pegasus in the English Yu-Gi-Oh anime, and obviously from the name of my channel and that background right there and everything else, I'm a huge Relinquished fan. Pegasus is my favorite character, so meeting him was quite a treat, and the guy is so nice. I know he's there to meet people and all that, but he seems like a genuine nice guy. The craziest thing is that even when he was just speaking in his own voice, he has the demeanors and his voice and everything of Maximilian Pegasus. Like, he's this kind of cool, relaxed, confident, cool, calm and collected kind of guy. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, he signed that for me. It reads "Your turn, JB," and then Pegasus DD as in Darren Dustin. So yeah, very thrilled. My PSA 10 finally has the creator of Duel Monster signature on it. And with that, guys, let's get started.
Very well, guys, let's go ahead and get started. Now get ready to witness my ace monster, Yugi boy, and that would be Relinquished. Now, if you watched the anime, you got that reference. If not, you probably think I'm a weirdo by now. But yes, we're gonna play 3 Relinquish. This card is able to equip any monster your opponent controls, and also has burning effects. It also has battle protection, which is pretty cool. And I mean, just to think that this was a thing back in early Yu-Gi-Oh! This monster was just bananas back then. Now, with the power craft of the game, there's cards that do stuff like this, probably better, to be honest with you. But this back in the day was like, wow, no wonder they gave it 0 attack and 0 defense. Like, it's cracked. Now we're also gonna play Millenniumize Illusionist. This is a quick play monster card. What it does is able to equip a monster to Relinquish or an Ice Restrict Fusion monster you control, and it's a quick effect, so it allows you to interact with your opponent on his or her turn. We're gonna play 1 Golden Eyes Idol. We really don't need more than 1. We mostly are going to use this as material to either make a Millenniumize Restrict, or if you use the effect, a Thousand Eyes Restrict. You can look at your opponent's hand as well, which is a callback to Pegasus in the anime, being able to know what your opponent had, but you're rarely going to use that. Another big utility for this card is just to go into Relinquish Anima. Now, this is one of the changes to the deck. We're going to play 3 copies of Predaplant Orpheus Scorpio. Why? Because you still want to prioritize getting Millenniumize Restrict on the field. I tried focusing more on the Kaiju strategy and letting Relinquish be more of a complementary strategy, but no, I think it really works best if you make Relinquish the main strategy and the Kaiju is the second strategy. And besides, I'm bringing you a Relinquished deck profile, so the Relinquish strategy has to be the primary strategy in the deck. So we are focusing on bringing Millenniumize Restrict or Thousand Eyes Restrict onto the field, so the fusion spell cards are priority. We're also going to go ahead and bring out Predaplant Del Antonia Cobra with the Orpheus Scorpios. That's how this works. You special summon it with the Orpheus Scorpio by discarding a card, and Del Antonia gets you a fusion or polymerization card. Now, the one thing that allows us to compete with the meta is the Kaijus. We play 3 Radiants because they are dark, and then we're going to play a Jizukiro and a Thunder King because they are the biggest Kaijus. And you are able to 1 turn kill your opponent with this deck. There's a way, if you get the right cards, you can pull it off, and I'll show you a video of that after this video. You'll be at the end of the video. Now, you want to be able to interact with your opponent as well while they're setting up their board. So I am putting in here 3 Ghostbell Hunted Mansions, but honestly, this could be anything that you deem necessary. Look at your meta and see what you think is best. But this card right here, since a lot of decks are relying on the graveyard, this is why I chose to put these cards here. But you really can go with like Ash Blossom or anything like that, Troll and Lockbird, even the Bureau, if you want. really look at your meta and see what fits best. Alright guys, let's go ahead and talk about the spell cards. Now we don't run any trap cards because this is primarily a going second deck. Now we are going to be playing Relinquished Fusion. This is an amazing fusion spell card that allows you to bring any of your restrict fusion monsters. And you can use monsters from your hand, field, or graveyard to do that, which is amazing. Now we have 3 super polymerizations. This is another great going second card, cannot be negated, and there's a lot of really good targets on today's meta. We're gonna play 3 Allure of Darkness. Now notice how 3 of the kaijus that we play are the dark attribute one. That's why, because we want to maximize on our dark attribute monsters, and all the Predator Plant monsters that we play are dark as well. Now this is a ritual deck, so 3 pre-preparation of rites. Allows you to get a ritual monster from the deck or the graveyard, and then the ritual spell card that mentions it. Now this is where we kind of have to bite the bullet a little bit. We don't have that Perplan Verte Anaconda, so we don't play Tour Guide and Sangan anymore. Sangan was like your surefire way of getting your relinquished every single time, but we don't have that anymore because it doesn't really have a lot of utility in this deck. So we have to kind of bite the bullet and then put more ways of searching relinquish by using preparation of rites. Also, it allows you to get your ritual spell card from the graveyard, which is pretty good. It comes in handy every now and then. Now the next thing that we're going to go ahead and play is 2 Interrupted Kaiju Slumbers. Again, this is another card that kind of had to bite the bullet a little bit because I was playing 3 of these and 6 kaijus. But again, with Predator Plant being out of the picture, it's not so easy to just go into get your relinquish in hand with Sangan and then get your Millennium Eyes on the field. You kind of have to find other alternatives, and you have to cut back a little bit. I'm a big fan of keeping my deck 40 cards, even. So I had to make some space for it, but if you're okay with playing more than 40, then by all means, throw in that extra kaiju. I recommend Dogoran, the Matte Flame kaiju, and then throw a 3rd copy of Interrupted Kaiju Slumber for sure. Now, of course, the main focus of the deck is Relinquish, so we're going to play 2 Black Illusion Rituals. Only 2, 3 can be a little bit breaky. And then we're going to play 1 Call by the Grave because you need those Ritual Searchers to resolve. You don't want to die to, or completely lose your turn to an Ash Blossom. Then we also play Instant Fusion. This is going to allow you to see Millennium Eyes Restrict or Thousand Eyes Restrict. Most of the time will be Thousand Eyes Restrict to steal a monster. Then you can go into Relinquish Anima and steal another monster. If it's pointing to it, or if you had a kaiju, you can put it right in front of your extra monster zone. And then lastly, we play Harpy's Feather Duster. It is the best back row removal for going second decks. Very well guys, let's go ahead and move on into the extra deck. Now we are going to play 2 copies of Millennium Eyes Restrict. This is the boss monster of the deck. It allows you to interact with effect monsters even with hand traps. It also has no limit on how many monsters you can equip, so you can make this thing up to like 8,000 attack point and just 1 hit kill your opponent. Now the next one is going to be Thousand Eyes Restrict. This right here is the sub boss of the deck. It's very powerful too because it kind of freezes the field. Nobody can change positions or attack, but most importantly, it can actively steal a monster from your opponent. Now these are just some super polymerization targets that are relevant to today's meta. We're playing 1 Starving Venom Fusion Dragon, 1 Predator Plant Dragostophelia. We're gonna play 1 Mud Dragon of the Swamp, and we're going to play 1 Predator Plant. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce that name, but is the big 3000 attack one that you need 3 dark monsters to make it, because every now and then your opponent will put 3 monsters and they're all dark attribute, and that is their end board. So I'm thinking decks like Phantom Knights, stuff like that. Now we play 2 copies of Relinquished Anima because you can make it with Relinquished or any of the Ice Restrict Fusion monsters, or with Golden Eyes Idol. Now we play Witch's Apprentice because we want to make our dark attribute monsters, which is a great majority, a little bit stronger. We play Cross Shape because we play both fusion and ritual monsters, and you get advantages from playing those. Link Rebo because we play a lot of level 1s, and every now and then you just need something for a little bit of protection. We play Nightmare Phoenix for some back row removal, and finally we play Black Luster Soldier of Chaos just as a finisher, or to kind of control the board a little bit, but honestly that could be an access code talker if you just need something to close games. Alright, and now real quick, because you guys have been asking for it, I'm gonna go into the side deck real quick, so let me go ahead and get that ready. Alright guys, now let's go ahead and talk about the side deck. So real quick, we play 3 Inspector Borders because you don't want your opponent to get out of control, and every now and then your opponent will realize that this is a going second deck, so they want to be sneaky and let you go first, hoping you won't have anything. Well, you can slap this thing on the field, and then your opponent is going to be very restricted on what he or she can do the next turn. Now we play 3 Draw and Lockbirds because again, it's all about keeping your opponent in check until you can go with your plays. You're a going second deck, so you want him to put monsters on the field, but not a lot. You want him to kind of have something going on, but not completely go all out, because it can be a little difficult for us to break that board. So just keep him in check a little bit, especially with decks like Flowandereeze or other decks like the branded archetype that do a lot of, getting cards out of the deck and searching for a lot of things. This will keep him in check a little bit. Now we play 1 Godarla because we play Kaijus and Flowandereeze is the thing. We play 2 Twin Twisters because that's going to be your answer for decks like Eldritch or Dynamorphia that have a lot of back row. We play Summon Limit because, again, we do want your opponent to have monsters on the field, but we don't want him to end up with 5. We want him to end up with 1, 2, even 3 we can handle, but more than that, it can be very difficult. And the last one, again, this is all for those players that want to get smart and they want us to go first because they think our deck can't do much going first, which in all honesty, it really can't. But what you do is you just kind of set stuff around the field to stay safe for that one turn, let your opponent go, either mess with him or her, or just limit on what they can do, and then you come back on the 3rd turn to really let your strategy take off. All right, guys. Well, again, thank you for watching this video, guys. I really appreciate all the likes and comments. It means a lot to me that you guys enjoy my videos. I'm still a little busy, so as you can see, I'm not making as many videos as I used to, but once I'm done with my bodybuilding and my competition, then I'm gonna get back into my channel a lot more. All right, guys. Again, thank you for watching my videos, and I'll be catching you in the next one.